Thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Jeevan Chandra and I belong to Haldwani, Uttarakhand. Currently, I reside at Sector 22, Gurgaon. And if I talk about my qualification, I have done my 10 plus 2 from CBSE board, Haldwani. And if I talk about my graduation, I have done from Kumaon University, Nainital. Currently, I have been working with real-time data services as an accountant for an year. And if I talk about my hobbies, I like to play cricket and read books. And there are four members in my family, including me. So that's all from my side.
So hello everybody. Thanks for allowing me to introduce myself. My name is Gaurav Kasi. I hail from district Ballian, UP, but nowadays I dwell at Kapasura border in New Delhi. In terms of my qualification, I have done my academics from CBSE board in 2024, and now I am preparing for a we can say entrance exam of CUET. And my hobbies are befriending intelligent people and reading books. My short-term goal is to be a good speaker, and my long-term goal is to be a CGI of India. And there are four members in my family. And my that's all about myself.
So as you all know that we have gathered all here to debate, to see the debate about the child labor. As I am against the child labor and Gaurav is in the side favor of child labor. So I will start with the meaning of child labor. What does child labor means? See, child labor means if any of the individual below the age of 18 years is working in any organization, factory or any workplace, so it becomes automatically becomes a child labor. So there are the few points why I am saying that it should not see, child should not work in below the age of 18 years, should not work in this type of organization. First one is health risk. There are lots of health risk that happens to a child when he works in an organization where the work environment is not good, which is hazardous for his health. And it is very he feels sick and ill, and also it is not beneficial for a long term. So he become unhealthy. Second thing is loss of childhood. See, if what does a child means, that he can enjoy his childhood, and he can do mischievous things, and he can have fun in his childhood. But if he is working somewhere and if working with any organization, so that in that time he lags behind in his childhood activities, and also he does not have that much of fun, and which impacts his personal development and also his mental health. So
So as Jeevan brother said that now he's talking about pros of child labor. So firstly, I would also let you know about the meaning of child labor. So as Jeevan brother said that if there is an individual and if he is below 18 years, if he is working with any organization, that is come under the child labor. So I am the side of pros that child labor is good, because why it is good, that as we also know that India's population is 1.4 billion, and India's half and more population belongs to the, we can say, youth. They are totally youth. And as we also know that now we have been living in Delhi for the some years. So as we also know that in Delhi 70% population belongs to totally youth, and they are also working with any organization, and they are also making their future bright. As we also know that at the age of 15 to 18 years, we need to learn something. We also need to make ourselves skillful. If there is a boy, if there is a girl, if she and he is working with any company, and if they are working with also any industry, so I think they are also making themselves skillful. This means that if I'm working with any organization, and if that is, I'm also grappling too many things, that how to tackle issues, and how to solve problems, and how to focus on a, we can say, on a single work, we can say around 8 hours. If I'm working with organization, it's mean that I'm working from till morning to till evening, so I have a good, we can say, that I can focus on a one thing, we can say, again and over again. First thing. And second is that if I'm working with any organization, that means that I have a, we can say, consistency to do something, that I can also be a hard worker, because in the future, as we also know, our success totally based on our hard work. So if I'm working in any organization below the 18 years, so I will also be a visual of doing hard work. And after 18 years, when I be able to, we can say, make my future secure, and when I do hard work, then I think it will also help me to grow in my life. It will also help me to, we can say do any work with consistency. I think it's helps.
So as Gaurav said about the child working in a workplace where he is learning and being skillful. So I think in that age no child is that much mature that he can understand these things, that if he will be working hard, so he can secure his future or something. I think that time he is working only for the money, and for from the pressure of his parents he is working there. if he will be given the chance to go to a school or go to some other means learning place, so he will definitely adopt. It is his only I think a compulsion by his parents that he is working in that organization. And I think the children below the age of 18 years is not enough mature that he can decide for himself. And if he is consistently working there, so I think he is not enough mature that he can learn that how to hard work or how to be a consistent in some work. So I think rather than working in an organization for 8 hours or being consistent in a work, he can be consistent in education and learning some new thing, so that after when he completes his education, he gets a very good job. And also he can be with the organization or between the people who are educated, and from the people he can learn more. So I think he is spoiling his childhood by working in such type of workplace and organization.
As you were talking about maturity, that if there is a child, if he is below 18 years, so he does not have a maturity. As per me, maturity does not come by the age, it's come by the environment, it's come by the experience. If there is a child, if is working in any company, he is on a daily basis, he is working, he is meeting with the many people, and he is also involving himself as per the situation. As we also know, there is a boy, if he is working with any organization, if he is working there for 8 hours on a daily basis, he is also meeting with the many people, so he is also involving himself as per the situation, and he is also learning something on a daily basis. It's like if I'm working with any company, so I think on a daily basis I'm also meeting with my manager, I'm also meeting with my colleagues, and I also visiting here and there. So I can also learn too many things. And as you also talk about, they are also being forced by their parents to work to go in a company for working. But I think as per me, there are too many many families, they are under, we can say, poverty line, and they do not have any kind of option that they can earn money. So I think they have only one resource, they have only one source, that if there is a child at their home, so they can send him in the organization to work, and for the well-being of their future. And we also know that on the rural areas, as we also know that many families are also below, because under the poverty line, and they do not have any kind of source of earning money. So if they have a child, so they send their child in a company for working, and for the eating to for eating two times food. I think it is also good for them. Actually, it's totally based on the situation. If my situation is totally well-being, and my parents are also able to give the fees of my education, so I think it will also help me to, because I make my future bright. But if my parents are not able to give me money, if they are unable to make my future bright, I think it is also totally based on me, that if I wanna make my future bright, so I have also seen a married child that if they are working with any organization, if they are working with any company, instead of that, if you are working, but after working they are also focusing on their study, and because they have also some kind of, we can say, because of motivation to do something in their life. So I think maturity comes by the experience, is not come by the, we can say, age.
See, as Gaurav mentioned that children is working in a workplace and he is consistently working there and he is getting skillful. But there is a law by the government that children below the age of 18 year cannot work anywhere. So I think that person, if he will be reported or his employer will be reported, so he cannot work there. So children below the age of 18 year cannot work anywhere. So I think that is the law, and that is the act by the government. So I think if the children is working in an organization and he is consistently working for 8 hours, so that is I think that is also a crime, and the employer can be reported, and that children should not be employed. And if you want to learn and if you want to be educated and his parents are forcing him, and they are not capable of earning money and not giving him the money, so there are lots of NGOs and there are lots of organization which help these type of children to learn and to give them better education. And lots of my friends are also the part of these type of education and NGOs. Sorry, there are lots of NGOs which they go there, they volunteer themselves and educate these type of children who are not able to go to the schools. I think there are lots of NGOs, and also the children below the age of 18 years should not work in any these type of organization.
As Jivan mentioned that there is a law and regulation in India that below child, it is prohibited to work a child below 18 years child to with any organization. But as per, I think he is talking about Article 24 of Constitution, that if there is a child, if he is below 15 years, so he cannot work with any organization. But as per me, that I can say that we can say rules and regulation has been made only for breaking. because as we also know that nobody is following, we can say nobody is following rules and regulation. As we also know that if the any child if is working, if you wanna work with any organization, if you wanna go in with any company, so I think if they are going with company, I think company should not hire them, but still instead of that, instead of because not hiring, they are also giving them chance to work their company. And I have also seen the many company, they also give them chance to work with them. And as we also know that instead of many, I have also seen too many parents, I think they also are more supportive, and they also help their child to work, to go to school, and to learn something. But as we also know that we are living in a society, we have also too many friends that who are studying in a school, but they are not focusing on their study. So their parents think that instead of wasting my money behind up my son because he is not studying at his own, instead of wasting my money, I can send him in a we can say in a city, and he can go there and he can make his future bright, I think. So we can say rules and regulations have been made only for breaking, not for, we can say, not for following.
See, you are on camera. You cannot say that rules are made to be broken, and the government rules you are saying they are made to be broken. See, if you are breaking the government rules, I think it's a crime. See, if any government rule is broken, so it is a crime. So you cannot say that rules are made to be broken. This is a different point. But if you will see the children working in any organization, you will see that there are advertisement boards or signs which says that children below the age of 18 year are not allowed to work or prohibited to work here. So I think that makes the point that children below age of 18 years should not work in any organization or in any place. The right time for them or right thing to do for them is to get educated and learn from the environment and from their school. So I think the most beneficial way to remove child labor is spreading awareness among the people that children should be educated, and then they can go to work and improve their lifestyle.
As per Jivan is saying that they are, we can say, making aware, we can say awareing the people among the people. So as per the, we can say, I wanna ask a question to the Jivan that why after 18 children can do work. I think as per the, he's saying, talking about maturity. So as we also know, the maturity comes by the, we can say, experience, by the knowledge, not come by the, we can say, age. So after 18 years, that child will be mature, and they will also be able to work with any organization.
So it is not wholly about the maturity, it is about the education which I am talking about. See, if you take an average age for completing an higher secondary or secondary education, so the average age is 16 to 17 years. And if 18 year of age is that you become adult. So as per the government also, there are many of the rules that after the age of 18 years, that if for a driving license the 18 years of age is also mandatory, and also for completing the education the average age is at 18 years. So I think the 18 years parameter is for the completion of education, so that after completing the education he can get a good job and he can work with a good organization. And also there is some part of maturity also, that till the age of 18 years, if he is going to some education institution and he is learning from the books rather than the working environment. As if you will see, the most of the children are working in manufacturing companies where the working environment is not good, and they are not being treated in a way that they should be. If they are being exploited and abused in the organization, and most of the cases that is being done. So I think that is not good for them. So till the age of 18 years, they should skill them up, and then afterwards they can work.
As per Jivan, that if they are also being mentally, we can say, disturbed, and they're also being mentally tortured and socially also, and they're also being abused by the, we can say, employers, as we are working with any organization. But as per me, I think if I can say that if I'm not financially stable, and I'm also unable to afford two times food, so I think it is my compulsion to work with any organization. And many childs are, I think they have also some kind of compulsion to work with any organization. Nobody wanna work with any company that, we can say. And at the time of child, I think they also think that I can also have a fun, and I must have some friends that I can also have fun with them. But I think because of the situation, because of the financial problems, because of that, those kind of things, they have a compulsion to work with any organization. But I think after working there, I think when they get that kind of environments, when they if not on many companies, I think just Jeevan is talking about that if they are being mentally tortured, and they're also not, we can say they are also being abused by the employers in a many organizations. But I have also seen a many organizations, they also treat the children, I think, in a very good way. I think they need to be stable. I think if I'm below 18, if I'm working with any organization, and if I'm being also being treated well, and I'm also earning good money, and it is also depend on me that I can make my future bright while working here. So I think it's also good. So I think child labor is.
So as Gaurav is inside of child labor, but I can again say that it is illegal. It is illegal to work for a child to work in an organization if he is below the age of 18 years. And also you would have seen that the child, if he is working in any organization, as Gaurav said, it is his compulsion that he has to do job because of income. His family is not having that much of income. See, I also earlier mentioned that there are lots of NGOs and organization which help these type of children. And if we are the part of the society, so we can find those type of children and we can help them. As the part of our society, we can have this responsibility so that they can learn and they can make their future bright.
As he is talking about NGOs now, I think also too many NGOs are being driven by government. And as we also know that the situation of NGOs, the teachers who are teaching in NGO, they're not most, I think they are not teaching them in a well manner. As we also have also joined an NGO, and I've also I think I'm also seeing the situation of that kind of NGOs that still, and starting initially, I think 1 to 2 months they are focusing on the studying, but after 2 and 3 months, instead of that teaching, they are also sitting in their seat and they are not focusing on. They are also wasting their time. Instead of joining any NGOs and wasting my time, I can go in any organization and I can also earn some money, and I can also make my financial condition stable.
So if you will see money as money as the point in child labor, so I think it will after in long term it is not beneficial. In short term it is beneficial that you are earning some money and you are helping your family. But in long term your growth will be stuck. You will be ending up working in an organization or in an workplace which will give you only the amount of income which will only be enough to for the expenses of for your day to day expenses only. So I think if you will see the short term benefit, so that is fine, but for long term I think that is not good for earning money if you are doing the work.
As per a human, I think we don't need to think about future. We need to live in a present. As we also heard about that, the person who always do overthinking, and they always think about their we can say future. I think we don't need to think, we need to take action. So I think also I'm saying that we need to live in our present. If my present situation is not good, and if I also lacking, I have a lack of problems, and I'm also facing too many issues related to my financials. So I think it's my compulsion, it's my also go to work with any organization. And one more also thing that if, yeah, after working with the organization, if he's saying that if they are paying me only, we can say, for the day to day expenses that I will earn from there. But as per the experience, as we also know, we can say we can earn lots of money as per the experience. So I think if as per my, we can say, when I be matured, and then when my financial situation will be we can say stable, then I will also change my profession. Then I will also have some kind of experience that I can also make my future bright. And one more thing, that if I'm working with one specific organization for the 5 and 4 years, I would also have some kind of knowledge. And on a day-to-day basis, I'm also meeting with the people. I will also have some kind of different knowledge that how can I communicate with others, and how can I, we can say, make that kind of products. I can also help somebody that to work, if somebody is gonna there, and if they're facing some kind of problems, I can also help them. I can also be a, we can say, if I have a good experience, so I can also be a team leader in that kind of company. Because I think organizations are not bad. I think the way we are thinking that if we are in a lower position, so I think it is bad. I think while working there, if I'm gaining experience, so as per the experience, I can also make my, we can say, position uplift. I can also go on the good position in that kind of organization.
So as Gaurav said that if the child is working with some organization, and slowly and eventually he will be growing in the organization and he can be at a good place. So I think there is, no such type of organization which is providing such type of facilities to the children below the age of 18 years to get employed in such type of organization where you can have so much of rapid growth and you can become the TL. So I think this is not the case in the service sector. I think the children who are working, they are basically working in manufacturing sector or in some restaurant or something. So the growth point here is not of going to some promotion level or something, because if you are in an organization where you want to get promoted to some senior or some TL level, so there you can only be hired if you are above the age of 18 years. So I think if you are below the age of 18 years, the children should only focus on education and and learning from the environment, and skilling him up, focusing on his communication and socializing much, and also on personality development. So I think child should not work anywhere till the age of 18 years, and he should give time to himself and his childhood, so that he can have that time for himself and for growing himself.
Conclusion, as per he is talking about, if there is a child, if he's working with any restaurant, so I think he cannot make his future, we can say, up. He cannot make his future uplift. I can also not make his future, we can say that secure. But as per that, I wanna let you know about, I wanna recite you a story. There was a person and he was also we can say beggar, and he used to, we can say, beg money on the road, and after begging money at the we can say at the evening time, he daily went to the went to the, we can say, restaurant, and he used to sit there, and he also sitting while sitting, he was we can watching the environment of that kind of restaurant. One day a person came to him and he asked to him that why on a daily basis you beg money, and after begging money you go in that restaurant, and why you are wasting your money for a 500 rupees coffees. He said that I'm going there, I'm not wasting my money. If I'm going in a restaurant, that if there is the person who are coming there, they also belongs to the privileged sector, and they have that kind of mindset that if they're sitting over there, they can also talk with their business. They are also talking about their mindset that I can also grab some kind of knowledge. If there is a child, if he's working with any restaurant and there are too many prestigious person, we can say that privileged, we can say, societies, people are coming there, and they are also sharing they are sharing their ideas, they are sharing their mindset, they are also sharing their, we can say, issues to the others. I can also hear them, and I can also make my future bright while listening them. I think visualization and observing is also the one of the part of the we can say personality development. As he was talking about personality development, it's not come by the teaching of others, that if somebody is teaching about the course of personality development, I can be personality developed. I think it is the way, I think I can grab, we can say, if I'm going anywhere, that the way of I'm sitting, the way I'm speaking, I think by visualizing I will learn those kind of things, not I think by the teaching. So if there is a boy, if he's working in a restaurant, and he is while treating the customer, while talking with them, and while he is getting some kind of we can say treat, while in the last time they also give some kind of card, some amount of money. So while treating, I can also learn something, because if the boy, if he's working in the restaurant, he's also making too many customers on a daily basis, he can also learn something about the personality development. As per not we can say NGO cannot teach that much, we can say, about a personality, the restaurant can teach you. That's all. So as for in the last and a conclusion, as Jeevan said you about the pros of we can say child labor, and I was the cons of child labor. So I think as we also know about that, a coin has a two, we can say, pahlu. As we know, हर सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं. So I think everything has a pros and cons, and the child labor also has a pros and cons. It's also totally depend on your goal, that how you are getting it. That if you are a side of pros, you will also see always the pros. I think everything has a pros and cons. So we need to take as per the situation. We also need to think that as per the situation, not as per our mindset.
My conclusion is done.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you everyone.